traveling man. I'm traveling man. I'm traveling man. I'm traveling man. You wait to see forever camp and outside the enemy. And I will see whatever they and I've been seeing my man. But I can stand and be the same that I can be the me. You wait to me, around the me, up and stand the me. I'm traveling man. 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 Well, now let's sing. Man, traveling man. I'm traveling man. I'm traveling man. I'm traveling man. I'm traveling man. Traveling man, yeah. You went to swing for what I can. You went to swing away. You went to swing whenever I need, and then don't run away. But I can find the main way. You went to send the main way. And up and send the main way. Up and see my way.
Welcome back to the Acoustic Shop channel. I am John. Hey guys, it is New Guitar Thursday. Cannonball! Don't get me excited like that. I was ready to go. Hi guys, welcome to Takeover Tuesday. I am Jeremy, and I've got a special guest here, guys. Austin Hanley's going to be part of this takeover. He's taking over my takeover. I'm going to talk mandolins. He's going to talk guitars. If you guys tuned in yesterday, me, Jason, and Hinckley just got back from a very special trip. It was top secret. This is like when the president flies into Afghanistan or something. They have to keep it in the secret. He flies in the middle of the night or takes a train ride into. It's nothing like that. But anyway, we felt like it was very top secret. We had the opportunity to order one of the Gibson Bill Monroe Hall of Fame mandolins way back in about 2020. Finally was getting into production in 2023, and we're like, this is too big of an opportunity to pass up. It is going to be the 100th anniversary of Bill Monroe's mandolin, the July 9, 1923 mandolin that this is modeled after. We had him hold this one off and sign it July 9, 2023 as the one and only 100th anniversary edition of that. Very special. We went to the Country Music Hall of Fame. We went to the Monroe Homestead. We went to the Bluegrass Museum. We went to the Gibson Garage and Vault. We went to the Grand Ole Opry. We went to his old homestead in Nashville. We went to the Station Inn. We were just everywhere.
Ryman for 2 seconds?
Ryman, we filmed up front of Ryman. We kind of did a mini history of Monroe's mandolin leading up to this 100th anniversary one. Very cool video project that these guys are going to start editing ASAP, which stands for as soon as they can. And yeah, very exciting to see that project because it was a lot of fun. We'll show you that mandolin here in just a second. Do we have any questions on this so far? If you guys have any questions, Hinckley is monitoring, and she's going to raise her hand whenever you have a comment or question.
Yes, I was going to say, at least tell them that I'm watching, ask where we're watching from. Donald said he's already watching from sunny, cloudy Springfield.
Sunny and cloudy Springfield. Right now it's sunny. It's pretty hot out there. Yeah, if you guys put in there where you're watching from, we appreciate getting to see where you guys are. Eugene, Oregon. Very cool. Eugene, we've got to play up there a couple times at the Mystic Pizza.
Nick says, homesick today, usually can't catch live streams. Thanks for helping me feel better.
Well, I'm glad he's able to catch the live stream and feel better about missing home.
And then first thing Jeremy did when he got to work was check on the mandolin. Is that true?
Probably, yeah. I think it's going to happen regular. I'm just going to come and say, is it still here? Can I play it?
Are we good?
Yeah.
And then also real quick, I have a poll up. I don't know if they can hear me well.
Really quick, she has a poll up.
We have a poll up that's asking, are you guys, who's going to be able to come visit the Bill Monroe mandolin?
Anybody can. We're going to keep this mandolin in stock for anybody that wants to come see it, really check it out, play it.
Hey, are you going to come visit?
Yeah, come visit this mandolin, come see it. It is very cool. We originally ordered this with the plans on selling it, but when we got this opportunity to make it a one of a kind. So we're going to keep that in the shop. It's just too cool. I'm going to play it just about every day. I think it's very cool. Let's show them that real quick. Let's show them this mandolin we're talking about, in case they weren't watching yesterday. And we'll probably play this in the shop talk tomorrow too, because we're just so excited. So look at this. It looks so much like the mandolin that's hanging in the Country Music Hall of Fame, which was Bill Monroe's famous F5 Lloyd Loar mandolin. He antiqued it and aged it using photographs of Bill Monroe's mandolin, and down to the very little details, like the screw hole where Monroe had a pickguard that he removed later on in life, the wear pattern from his fingers scraping it. This is a real cool scar right here when the mandolin got vandalized. It was in 200 little pieces. They put that mandolin back together, and it did have some missing segments to it. David actually meticulously kind of removed that from the top to make it match. Even the tarnish on the tailpiece cover, same for the tuners, they're tarnished and worn, just scratches and scuffs and tuner string changing winder scratches on it. It's just so down to the very smallest detail, like Monroe's mandolin. And the other bonus to it, besides the fact it does have a signed label by Bill Monroe inside it, so that's actually Bill Monroe's signature. He signed a bunch of labels before he passed. Turn it.
There we go. It's very but no.
Yep. And it also says inside of it, July 9, the 100th anniversary. Very cool. Bonus on top of all that, yeah, we got photos of that they're getting ready to put up. But bonus on top of that is it's an awesome sounding mandolin. Very cool, very exciting. Yes, Inkley.
Matt in St. Louis wants to know, any chance that Gibson will ramp up mandolin productions to be back to where it was pre-flood levels in the future?
I was actually just talking to one of the new guys that's the head of product or head of brand development for Gibson Custom Shops today, and talking about the new release of mandolins. He said they put this pause on, and they've done it on each different division of Gibson once it was new management. But the mandolin department was the latest one. They put a pause on all production as they are streamlining the production process, and they say they have optimized it, where he thinks production levels right now will be the fastest that they have ever been, because they just made changes in the way production is done, the workflow at the workshop in Nashville. All those things are now in place. He expects production to go way up from where it was before. So he said, yes, there has been delays, and it took a little longer than expected, but right now they're churning on all cylinders. So that, to answer your question, I just talked to them today. They expect production to go up quite a bit from where it has been in the past few years.
Will they ever get back in the banjo business?
That is another question we have asked them numerous times. The cool thing is this weekend really inspired a lot of the guys at the Gibson workshop, the guys that are in corporate, that everybody knows of Gibson. A lot of those people that are coming from outside the community know about the electrics, you know, the Les Pauls and some of the Flying V's and all the famous stuff that Gibson's known for. The big sellers, really. It is a big part of their market is the electric guitars. They don't know as much about the history of the mandolins and banjos and what role that played in Gibson's development. But this 100th anniversary, really, a lot of those guys came out for that. We got a chance to go to the Gibson garage and film in the vault. They own a Lloyd Loar 1923 mandolin, valued about $170,000, the mandolin they have. It really opened their eyes up to the history. So maybe once they kind of get that mandolin department back up, it looks like they're looking back at some of their history as a acoustic powerhouse company, and they may revisit the banjos. It's going to probably be a while before that happens, but we know it's in their ear and they're thinking about it.
Terry says, don't forget the Rattler. Did you talk about how it came with a
Yep.
snake Rattler?
So it comes with this, I don't think we put it up here, but it comes with a very old, and there's numerous reasons that they say that old-time fiddlers did it, whether it was to keep the cobwebs down inside their fiddle, to keep the devil out of the box was probably the most familiar reason they did it, or just to keep rats out of there from making a nest inside their fiddle. All the old-timers would put a rattlesnake rattle inside the F-hole of their fiddles, and then Bill Monroe, coming from that tradition, would do the same. David Harvey, as a cool kind of case candy thing for all these, decided to put a rattlesnake rattle in each one of the cases. You can obviously throw that in the mandolin if you owned one, but we're gonna keep that, probably just put that in there on display as well. But just a really cool piece of history. If you're in Missouri and you have some of these old time fiddles, you find old grandpa's fiddle and start shaking it, you may find there's a rattlesnake rattle in there, and it's a hundreds-year-old tradition that they did with these old fiddles and mandolin players. Monroe was known to, he'd carry a few of those rattlesnake rattles with him, and as gifts, he'd spit on it and then hand it to somebody so they could put it inside their case. I'm not sure why, but
Okay.
tradition, I guess.
Well, on the topic of tarnished tailpieces, what is the best polish to polish an Eastman tailpiece?
So, two things. One, if you're getting one of these vintage ones, you probably don't want to polish it because they are purposely tarnishing these. So these are the antique, and this is a really cool one, the MD814V. So this is an antique varnish with the BK. So it's a black, which is very traditional. Gibson did a lot of these style mandolins. Again, they got kind of that wear, and they purposely tarnished the tailpiece to make it look a little bit more aged and antique. Sound very reminiscent of those early F14s or F4s. So that's, if you got one of those antique ones, probably don't polish that. If you got a new one and you want to keep it polished, my favorite one, Deering Banjo Company. Banjos have so much metal, treated metal. They have either gold plating, nickel plating, a few different options on the armrests, and just the entire tension hoop and all that is this shiny plated metal. So Deering has a really cool polishing cloth. It's a three pieces in one cloth. It has the cleaner, the polish, and a kind of a shine last cloth on there. And I really love those. I know that we got those for sale. I guess I could show you those real quick. And then we'll get Austin to talk about colorful guitars.
I can't find this email, Tyler.
So this one right here, the Deering Care Cloth. No, it's not. I guess they're now selling it in a three pieces. They used to have them all three sewn together, but now we have let's see. Yeah, this one right here. For polishing gold, chrome, and nickel, and then this one's for cleaning the tarnish and nickel off. So clean it with that one and then polish it with this one, and that is really the best thing out there. It's already pre-treated, both those cloths are, and they work great on all those banjos. If you look over at the banjo wall, there's so much shiny metal on those that tarnish, and rather than have like if you use kind of a chemical or like a polish, like cream, a lot of times you get that down in some of the crevices, and it kind of leaves a residue where these pre-treated polishing cloths shine it and clean it without leaving anything behind. So that's my favorite thing. Look up the Deering polish and tarnish removing cloths. Anything else, Hinkley?
You did get a request for Gunsmoke, and I was just typing. We'll play that on Shop Talk.
Okay, we'll play that on Shop Talk tomorrow. We're going to try to do that.
Gunsmoke tomorrow.
I'm thinking Trailblazers. Well, I'm thinking Gunsmoke. Yeah, we'll learn it for tomorrow.
The person that asked about the tailpiece says, excellent, thanks.
Okay, yeah, we use those in the shop all the time. Austin,
Yes,
we have
sir.
some colorful guitars in the shop right now.
We have some very colorful guitars.
Breedlove Guitars, we really love those guys up there in Bend, Oregon. And they did this limited series, and I'll let Austin kind of fill you in on some of the different models. But look how colorful and pretty those are. I know a lot of the traditional bluegrassers are going to go, oh, what? Would you want a guitar like that? Guess what, guys? We're not the only ones that play guitar. Bluegrass players aren't the only ones. Colorful guitars on stage have been a big part of a lot of country music, pop music, singer-songwriter music, and just anybody that wants to own a nice, colorful guitar.
Well, and we pride ourselves on having an instrument for everybody. I mean, truthfully, if I was going to go on the road and I had to pick out a guitar out of this room, there's some nice instruments I'd love to take, but the Breedlove would probably be one of the top ones. First of all, they're beautiful. Being on stage, you're going to stand out. It's going to be something unique. I mean, if Taylor Swift called me and said, hey, playing in Kansas City.
She calls me all the time.
I know I had to work, Jeremy, and fill in, but I was going to go up and take one of these, but in the end, they're great on stage. They come with the LR bags, Anthem pickup system in them. These are USA made in Bend, Oregon, and if you know about Breedlove, we've been selling them for years. It's an amazing company. The story behind the company is really unique, and we believe that what they're doing is something that we can get behind, especially with their sustainable woods and everything that they do from beginning to end when it comes to building a guitar. Now, you're right, these are not your traditional, this is not your grandpa's guitar. There's a lot of unique things that they do, not only from the colors, which this one is the Mojito.
Yep. I really like that burst. It's kind of dark on the edges and then kind of lightens up as you get towards the top.
It's beautiful, and then
all
the way
through
it still
the
allows
neck.
the wood to come through, and you still get
And
those characteristics.
that's that myrtle wood, which Breedlove is famous for using a local sustainable wood up there in Oregon that they can get. It's constantly growing, endless supply of that, and it has a really attractive look to it. This looks gorgeous. The grain on this top.
Yeah, the Pinot,
Yeah.
which I believe is the combination of the French words for black and
I know it's
plum or something like that.
you would know better. I know that
Anyways,
there's a
very
wine.
pretty and wonderful.
I go into the fancy wine places and I order the Pinot. Can I
This
get
is
some
my
of that Pinot?
favorite that we have. I love the fade in it. They have the hard rock maple neck, and they do come into 1 3/4 inch nuts, so it's super
That
comfortable.
neck looks sweet. That transition color looks awesome.
Yeah, the neck on that is my favorite out of all of them. And yeah, they have some very forward-thinking designs. They do the pinless bridge, which is really cool. They also, the body style in and of itself, I think it brings out a lot more of the mid-range and a lot more nuances that sometimes can get buried in your traditional bluegrass guitars. So for the singer-songwriter, for the stage performer, I think these are a great series for them. But again, I mean, not only with their cool finishes, but going behind the story and going down to their earth songs. I mean, this is a beautiful instrument in the way that they treat the finish in the woods. And of course, like Jeremy was saying, these are all sustainably harvested. They do not do any clear cutting. They sound just amazing. They're just a beautiful, wonderful, comfortable playing guitar. The cool thing is with every one of these they sell, they will plant 100 trees in order to kind of keep that sustainability thing going. It's a really neat thing they do beyond just making a wonderful guitar. Beautiful finishes, again, that neck of that hard rock maple and that finish kind of coming in and out from the dark to the light. That is just an amazing guitar. Again, Breedlove's story, if you haven't checked it out, check out the TED Talk with Tom Bedell. He's an amazing guitar builder, definitely a passion-driven person.
Yeah.
And we see that in every instrument we get from them, whether it's an import to their USA made.
And yeah, you guys have heard us talk about all the wonderful Bedell guitars, one of our favorite ones sitting right here. Tom Bedell, in that same factory that they're making the Breedlove guitars, they also make Bedells, which Bedell is, it's Tom's namesake. That's more of the traditional build, but still using some very cool wood combinations, probably some of the best selections of tone woods ever. And he still makes sure every piece of, even some of this exotic tone wood, every piece of it has to be sustainably harvested. But then they also had this Breedlove for a little bit more of the progressive or newer, more modern guitar players. So you got your traditional Bedell guitars and then more of that modern Breedlove out there. So really great guitars to have in the shop. We love both brands for different reasons. And it's the same thing we talked about on oval hole mandolins versus F-hole mandolins. You get a different sound out of them. They're not, you're not going to see a bluegrass player up there playing an oval hole F-style or A-style mandolin. It doesn't have that same traditional tone. But if you're doing some more Celtic stuff, if you're doing more strumming and folk stuff, that oval hole has such a cool, warm tone to it. And I'm only discovering that since we opened the store. I was definitely a little biased, and I only thought the F-style with F-holes is the only mandolin that should be on the market. And I've changed my view a little bit. And the same thing with these guitars. I know years ago I would have scoffed at a blue guitar and with cutaways and weird tone woods. But now I appreciate that there's different guitars for different people. Just like driving on the road, see how many different model cars they have out there and different builds, different sizes, different colors. It's a one for anybody's different needs, which we're really excited we get to have those in the shop now. I don't think I got to talk about these. Speaking of me losing some of my prejudices, A-style mandolins, we've done a lot of comparison videos on YouTube with these. I've become a total fan of A-style mandolin, especially these. We got to do Bourgeois Black Top. These are M5A-BT. So it's got the black top. Again, my first professional mandolin was a flat iron. It was an F-style, but a black top mandolin. So I really kind of, it brings back memories of my first real strong mandolin. This has got killer tone. Fully torrefied maple back and sides, Adirondack spruce top on it. Slightly wider nut than the standard Eastman nut. Man, she's got this real woody, deep tone. I think we got 3 of these just came in at once. We got 3 of these black tops, and then one of the the unfinished, or not unfinished, but unstained top. So that's just the torrefication color of the wood there. So that's the standard M5A. Hinkley, we got any more questions or comments or people watching from anywhere cool? No, we've got zero interaction. Thanks a lot, guys. I think we got people too excited about the Bill Monroe mandolin. Feel free to come in and check this thing out. We are going to have it on display. We're going to get some extra photos and stuff of Monroe's mandolin to put in the cabinet next to it to just kind of give you a reference point. But man, we got to go see his actual mandolin at the Country Music Hall of Fame in person, and I am blown away by the level of detail and matching the wear and the wear patterns that Monroe put into his mandolin.
Anthony B says that he owns 2 Breedlove organ guitars and loves them.
All right, see, Anthony, he's one of those guys that he all for that new look and feel and sound, and I'm in the same court. I'm with you. Killer guitars.
What's your favorite color?
I think I really like this Pinot, but I think I'm more the Pinot.
Really?
Yeah, I just like the transition of the colors a little bit. This
I like
one's
the
a little.
gradient too.
I like that darker bottom of this one, but I like the way that goes from that dark, almost black to a deep red, little pink and purple, little pink, and then back up into the pink and red at the top. I thought they did a great job with that. And that's not easy to do. It takes a finish guy some skill to get that gradient so smooth. Yes. All right. I think we're probably good for this week. Tomorrow we'll be in for Shop Talk. That's at noon. We'll try to do your requests. If you guys have some song requests, you can put them in this video or be live tomorrow. Send out the song requests. We'll be on TikTok, Twitch, we're on YouTube and Facebook. And then I'll probably be playing that mandolin. I'm pretty excited to be able to play that for an extended period of time.
Play me a Taylor Swift song on the Pinot?
I can't.
Okay,
I don't know any Taylor Swift songs on guitar.
Alex A says looking forward to the road trip video.
Yes.
It will take time.
Guys, it will. We probably have more footage for this trip than any we've done before, because we had so many. I forgot to mention we went to Gruen Guitar on that list. We spent about an hour and 45 minutes, and George Gruen just gave us his entire history of the F5 mandolin and the impact of the Lloyd Loar F5 on bluegrass music and his history with them. So that alone could take up an hour and a half of your time on YouTube. So they got to edit that down into some bites. We're probably going to make numerous videos out of it, where we get these full long videos. We got to CJ Lewandowski came out to the Monroe's last homestead in Nashville. We played some stuff on his front porch, and then talked about CJ's Lloyd Loar mandolin, how he got that from Greece. It was a very cool story. It's going to be a very good video with a lot of offshoots, I think, secondary videos coming out of it. So it'll take some serious editing, but we've prioritized it. We're going to try to get it out within the next couple weeks.
It's such a cool story, and what a great opportunity.
How about some ragtime tomorrow?
Ragtime would be cool. We have some banjo mandolins next door and some tenor banjos, which would be very cool to do some ragtime on. I'm sure we could fake one or two of them. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. We will see you again next week. We're going to try to have a different staff member be my guest as I take over every week and talk about a new guitar or mandolin or banjo that comes in the shop, maybe even a ukulele. So we'll see you next week for Takeover Tuesday, and then tomorrow we'll see you on Shop Talk.